Greetings, Los Angeles Lakers fan. If you are a true passionate supporter of the club, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. We want to prove that the Lakers fan base is, in fact, the greatest in the United States. Before we move on to the news, drop a comment below telling us which city you're watching from. Now, let's get to the first piece of news. Lakers fans watch Rui Hachimura drama unfold. Rui Hachimura's offseason has become one of the quiet sagas of the NBA summer, and for Los Angeles Lakers fans, it's a story that could still end with a familiar face back in purple and gold. After a postseason that raised a stock, Hachimura entered free agency expecting a payday. Instead, the market cooled, teams moved in other directions, and whispers around the league now suggest a possible return to Los Angeles, albeit one that would require a messy roster chess move and a compromise on salary. Postseason momentum turned Hachimura into a sought-after piece. Many assumed he'd land a multi-year offer quickly. The Spurs were linked early, then pivoted to Tobias Harris on a 2-year deal. Other suitors faded. Now, with the market thinning, the idea of Hachimura rejoining the Lakers has resurfaced among league insiders. Reality check: the Lakers' summer was busy. They reshaped the roster in ways that left little room for a straight re-signing at the value Hachimura likely expects. That creates a narrow path forward, one that would force Los Angeles to make difficult financial moves or ask Hachimura to accept a short-term, lower-paying arrangement. Key obstacle: salary flexibility. To bring Hachimura back without breaking the luxury structure, the Lakers would likely need to clear salary by moving Jared Vanderbilt or DeAndre Ayton. That could mean an unlikely trade or a waiver and stretch maneuver. Of the two, Jared Vanderbilt is the likelier candidate to be stretched or moved. Cap reality: even if the Lakers open space, there's no realistic scenario where they match the kind of contract Hachimura might have earned after his playoff showing. The most plausible offer would be short-term and backloaded, effectively underpaying him in year one with a promise of more later, a risky proposition for a player who can still command interest elsewhere. Familiarity and fit are powerful. Hachimura already knows the coaching staff, the locker room, and the role he played in LA. For a player weighing stability and chemistry against starting fresh, that can be persuasive, especially if the market continues to dry up. Timing and surprises: the NBA offseason moves fast. A surprise trade, a team changing course, or a late market collapse could push Hachimura back toward the Lakers. If that happens, Los Angeles would have to decide whether the value of continuity outweighs the cost of roster tinkering. Short-term, don't expect fireworks. A headline reunion would require both roster surgery and a willingness from Hachimura to accept a less lucrative immediate deal. That combination feels unlikely but not impossible. Long-term, if Hachimura values the Lakers' environment and the team can engineer the necessary cap relief, a reunion could be a savvy, low-risk move that preserves depth and playoff versatility. For fans who appreciated his postseason contributions, the idea of him back in the purple and gold remains an appealing fallback. Rui Hachimura's name is back in Lakers conversations because the market cooled and options narrowed. The path to a reunion is narrow and complicated by salary mechanics and realistic contract expectations. Still, the NBA is a league of late surprises, and for Lakers fans who want to see Hachimura return, hope is not yet extinguished. If the front office can pull off the necessary roster gymnastics and Hachimura values continuity over cash, Los Angeles could quietly add a familiar, playoff-tested piece, even if it's not the payday many expected. LeBron's sweepstakes expands. What once looked like a head-to-head between the Golden State Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers has become a multi-team affair. Reports that LeBron decided to leave the Lakers narrowed the field briefly, but the list of suitors has grown. The Miami Heat were already mentioned as a third option, and now the Denver Nuggets have reportedly reached out while the Philadelphia 76ers have expressed interest after acquiring Jaylen Brown. That expansion of interest means the Warriors face more competition and more variables in their pursuit. Timing and leverage are suddenly less predictable. Golden State's front office must weigh roster fit, salary cap logistics, and the optics of chasing a generational star against the reality that other contenders are also circling. For fans, the prospect of pairing LeBron with the Warriors' core is intoxicating. Imagine championship experience, playmaking, and a new dimension to the offense. Yet the widened market could drive up the cost in trade assets, salary concessions, or creative contract structures. Fit on the floor, LeBron's ability to create and facilitate could complement Golden State's shooters, but it would also require adjustments to spacing and defensive assignments. Financial maneuvering. More teams in the mix could force the Warriors to consider bold moves or to protect future flexibility. Championship window. Adding LeBron would be a win-now move that accelerates expectations and pressure on the roster and coaching staff. Warriors supporters are used to high-stakes summers. This one feels different, a crossroads between preserving the dynasty's identity and seizing a once-in-a-generation opportunity. The idea of LeBron in Bay colors will spark debates across forums, sports bars, and social feeds. Would he be the missing piece or an awkward fit? Either way, the conversation will dominate the offseason. Golden State's pursuit is far from over, but the landscape has shifted. With the Nuggets and 76ers now in the conversation, the Warriors must act decisively and creatively. For fans, the next week's promised drama, trade rumors, and the kind of suspense that makes summer basketball feel like playoff season.